What's up, guys? Welcome back to Spoiling Movies. My name is Chris. I'm going to tell you all about a movie I just watched. I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to tell you everything that happens. This week's movie is Suspiria, the old one. Pre-spoiler opinion, I really liked this. I thought it was very tense, very cool. I liked their use of lighting and prosthetics. You guys know me. I love fucking like physical, physical effects, prosthetics and shit. It was fairly scary, but it was pretty creepy, and I liked what they did. So, recommend from me. During the opening credits, they do a narration about Susie joining some dance studio in Germany, and she's flying there or whatever. But it's still during the regular credits, so they keep the regular credits going, which was kind of odd. They have this very strange music that keeps saying, like, witch! Like, in the background, it keeps saying, witch! Like, at weird moments. It's all shot very creepily, like her getting to the airport, leaving the airport in Germany, and like the song just keeps going witch just every now and then. It's like, we didn't know it was a witch movie. You don't have to yell it at us. She tries to go to the dance studio place that she's supposed to be at, and they whoever's on the intercom says like, no, we don't know you, get out of here. And she sees some other woman like escaping into the rain out of that place, but she's not allowed to go in, so she gets back in the cab and leaves. But she sees the woman like running through the forest as they're driving to wherever she's going. Her name is Susie, and I guess she is now going to a place where she can stay because they denied her access to the place. So she gets in this hotel room thing. So she meets some weird lady at a hotel that lets her stay with her, I guess. She gets into a room and is really creeped out by the wind. So there's this long sequence where she's looking out the window and there's like weird laundry hanging on a line out there. She sees some eyes looking at her through the fucking thing. Window crashes open, a hand grabs her and like smashes her face into the window, which is kind of funny because you see the fucking smush face, like a smush, like a she's like so yeah, like the hand grabs her and fucks her up and starts stabbing her multiple times. Whoever this girl is, that wasn't Susie, it was some other girl. It was the girl that was leaving. I couldn't, from the way that they did it, I couldn't tell who the fuck it was. But she starts getting stabbed multiple times by a mystery person, and then they, like, tie a cord around her neck and, like, push her head through the fucking glass, because she's, like, up on a floor. Her head is, like, hanging through this glass thing, and then the whole thing breaks, and she falls down, and apparently the other woman that was there trying to help her, like, has gotten impaled with all of the falling glass and shit that was in the building. But she actually got hung. She was not only stabbed a bunch of times, but like that cord hung her. So she's hanging there and the other lady's fucking dead with all this other shit. The next day, Susie goes back to the dance studio that she was supposed to be at and meets Madame Blank. They call her Blank in this one. In the new one, they call her Blanc. We see some blind man walking with his seeing eye dog going into the dance studio. He leaves his dog outside. He goes in. Apparently, he's the piano player for the dance studio or whatever. Lady Tanner is the person that's like in charge of filling people in or whatever. So she tells Susie that there's a room for her or Madame Blanc or whatever the blank or whatever the fuck. They tell her there's a room there for her at the studio that she was supposed to get, but she's already kind of settled in with the other girl. And they're like, oh, well, it seems like you're the kind of person that just wants what you want. You'll stay wherever you want, and that's up to you. You have free will. So there's this very odd looking woman in the hallway and very creepy looking child, little boy child. And as Susie's walking past them in the dance studio hallway, lady shines a light in her face. And so she's kind of fucked up by it. So for the rest of the time, she's kind of walking through the hallway, and she's kind of like, what was that? What is this? And then the music goes, witch! So that blind guy's in there playing piano for the people that are doing the ballet thing. She's, like, really, really tired, but somehow she's able to be, like, dancing the thing that they're doing. But she's like, something happened, and I don't feel so good. And like, well, you gotta show us something. And then she ends up, like, fucking, like, falling on the floor after doing the dance moves. She wakes up and she's in a room in the dance studio place that they were trying to keep her, but now she's kind of forced to be there. It's like, oh, now we have a room for you. All the madam people are around, and the doctor like gives her a shot, and she feels way better. And she's like, well, I guess I'm just gonna stay in this room now. When Susie's just chilling, she notices there's like weird shit happening in her hair, and she like sees that there's like fucking maggots. There's like weird fucking maggots in her hair, and she runs, freaks out, and everybody else has like maggots that are like falling on them. Like, what the fuck? The ladies in charge go up to the attic, and they find a thing full of fucking maggots, and they explain that there was some food that they ordered that had gone bad that they were keeping in the attic, and that's why there's maggots falling. I don't fucking buy it. There's something weird up there, and you know it. So they set up a bunch of beds in like the big studio area where all the girls are gonna have to be in like a big place, like sleeping in the same room together. And they ask like the lady madams that are in charge, like, are you gonna be like, yeah, we sleep here with all of you girls or whatever. But they've got like this big weird curtain, and when they're trying to fall asleep, they hear this weird wheezing, snoring noise. Apparently, Susie's friend Sarah says that she's heard that shit before, and it was the director. The blind guy's dog apparently had bit the child, the weird little boy. And so Madame Tanner starts freaking out on him, and she's like an overactor. She's like, well, you're a piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here. Takes his fucking cane and his shirt and just like throws it on the ground. And he's like, well, I'm getting out of here, whatever. Screw you people. He finds his stuff and he gets out of there. The women that are in charge, all of the director, madam women that are in charge of the dance group place, they leave at night. Everybody just accepts that they go somewhere else. They don't actually, even though they say that they're sleeping there, they don't. They leave and go somewhere else. They sort of do the Donnie Darko light thing that I mentioned in the other review about the new one. The Donnie Darko light is a thing that just kind of, it's a light, weird light thing that shows up and kind of shows you where to go or what to do or make you like, I don't know, just add tension to the scene. But this one is more of like a red light, and the red light kind of like messes around on Susie's wall, and you can see like where it's going and shit. Sarah's talking to Susie, and she's like, I don't think they're not leaving. They're going into some secret room. I can hear what they're doing when they're walking. I'm going to make notes, and I'm going to count the amount of steps that they are taking and where they are taking them and when they stop. They show the blind guy with his seeing eye dog, and they're going into this giant location where it's supposed to look like it's a town square kind of thing. And the dog starts barking and freaking out. And the guy's like, what is it, boy? What the fuck's going on? And then he looks up and he sees like a gargoyle thing that's like a bird or whatever. And then he looks around and there's like shadows jumping all over the place. And then he looks again and the gargoyle thing is gone. And then there's like, yeah, like you hear weird things. I don't know if that was part of the music score, but it basically implies that there are like witches flying around while something weird is happening. And then the dog bites his fucking neck and kills the fucking blind dude. The dog just starts eating him, just fucking eating his neck and shit. Susie meets with Blank and talks about like she heard Patricia or whatever her name was mention the word secret and irises. Most of the time they do a lot of really harsh reds and harsh blues in this, but then when it starts getting creepy and weird, they start doing the big harsh greens. Witch! So the friend Sarah is running around freaking out. The Donnie Darko light is there, fucking like flashing around. And Sarah accidentally finds a secret room, just accidentally kind of like fucking walks into a wall and just kind of falls back into it. Sarah's able to escape and get through the little window thing because she thinks somebody's following her. And she ends up in a different room where there's like a bunch of like razor wire and starts fucking freaking out like, ah! They sort of make it look like her throat gets cut and her hands get cut. And there's a scene where Susie meets with Udo Kier, I maybe that's his name. And it's really interesting to see him in this role because he's so young. And he's doing, like, an American accent. He gives a bunch of exposition about the other girl that died, the Patricia girl, and he starts talking about witches, like, oh, you're interested in witches. I know a guy, so so Susie ends up talking to some older guy about witches, and he's like, well, witches are these malevolent beings that they want to get what they want, but they're going to hurt everybody involved. And he says something about Marcos was like the old witch. They called her the black demon or the black witch or something. If you kill the lead witch, then all the other ones will not have someone to follow or whatever. There's a scene where Susie is in the bathroom and it's night and there's like thunderstorms. and she sees weird shit out the window or hears weird shit, and then opens the bathroom window and a bat flies in, and but it's really not a great looking bat. I love practical, physical effects and shit, but it's not a great looking bat. She throws a thing over it and bashes it. And Susie uses Sarah's notes that were in her room still to go and follow the footsteps to figure out where the fucking ladies are going. Witch! Yeah. Obviously there's witches because the music keeps yelling witch in our faces. So Susie's walking around and there's like a picture of like flowers on the wall, and she's able to remember that Patricia, or whatever, the girl that died at the beginning, she said, turn the blue irises. So Susie turns the blue one. Susie sneaks into a place she's not supposed to be and sees Madame Blanc drinking blood, maybe? She says, like, get rid of that girl. Sickness and death! Susie ends up in another weird room, and there's, like, weird curtains behind a certain place with a silhouette of basically the same silhouette that was there when they were trying to sleep earlier. And the curtain silhouette person, like, gets up and starts talking to her in her mind or out loud, I'm not really sure. And as soon as the silhouette person gets up, she, like, opens it up, but they're not there. The person's not there. And then, like, Sarah's body shows up and has, like, a fucking, like, a knife, and it's just like, like, about to kill fucking Susie. But somehow Susie knows to stab an invisible thing. She's invisible, the fucking Marcos witch lady, but you can see, like, they show us, like, the outline of the character, so she knows that she gets stabbed the invisible person. As she's leaving, we see, like, all the other witches are also feeling the next stab. Like, that's bad witching. Like, why would you have everybody connected like that? Like, as she's running, a bunch of, like, doors and windows are, like, blowing out while she's going, and it's really cool effects. And the whole place bursts into flames. She walks out and gets out of there and smiles as she's leaving. And then it goes, witch! And then the credits go. And the credits are also just witch heavy. And that's the end of this movie. I like watching some of these older ones that I haven't seen before. This is actually a very interesting watch. I loved the way that they did the lighting. And I liked the way that they used the old school, like, physical prosthetic effects and stuff. This movie is very different than the new one. I'm not sure if I like this one better than the other. I think I like this one more as a horror movie, and the newer one more as a psychological thriller. They do really cool, like, camera angles and the lighting they use. There's even, like, scenes when they're going through a certain hallway where I know, because I've been paying attention to this shit, that, like, the doors in the hallway are just, like, miniatures. But it looks really good. They put a lot of fucking craft into this. The lead actress, whatever her name is very good at doing the style of acting where she does a lot of face acting. Like, something bad is going on, and she's like, just crazy lighting while she, like, fucking pan into her face, like, lie down. What? I don't know. If I had seen this one first, I probably would say I like it better, but I saw the new one first, and it was okay. It was okay as a psychological thriller. This one was pretty good as a horror movie, but not like scary, like I didn't feel really frightened, but I like the way that they did that. The music was really harsh and odd. I really wish they hadn't done the, like, witch thing, like, all the time. I wish they hadn't done that. So yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I like it. I like it as a weird one. This seems like one you could watch at Halloween and have a good old creepy time or something. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking or feeling. How do you feel about this one? Did you see this one or the new one? Do you not want to watch the new one because it might ruin this one? Just let me know what you're thinking. I love reading your comments. Peace out, everybody. Witch! This actually looks kind of cool. I need to use this more often. They're fucking crazy witches. Ba-da-na-na. Nah. Oh shit, there it goes. Ba-da-na-na. Fucking witches. Nah, witches. And then it fucking. Tanner is. What some of the apparently the like a also Udu